All right, today we're going to throw together a refreshing salad that you can bring to your next summer picnic gathering. 4th of July is right around the corner, so I'm going to show you how to throw this together real quick. You can change it and do whatever you want to do to it. I'm just showing you what I do. So the first thing you're going to need is some tomatoes. I use a whole quart, normally cherry. Cherries didn't look too good, so I went with grapes this time. It'll be just as good with grapes. We got 1 pound of fresh mozzarella cheese. You're going to need this. This has to go in the freezer 20 minutes. Get this stiffened up, makes it easier to cube up. 1 seedless cucumber preferably. If you can only find ones with the seeds in it, that's fine. And then you're going to need 2 to 3 sliced black olives, whatever brand you like. I happen to think the Wegmans ones taste a little bit better than the name brand ones in this instance. And then get yourself some Kens Lite Northern Italian with the basil and Romano. You can use a regular one too, but this one's more light and refreshing and less calories than the normal one. So we're going to get this washed, get this going, and then we'll bring you back and show you how to put it all together. All right, we got our vegetables, or tomatoes and cucumbers rinsed off, got those ready to go. So we're gonna get these cut up. We're gonna get the cucumber seeded and cut up, get that in there, and we're gonna time lapse that. You're gonna have to watch me cut them all slow, so we'll get it done in like 3 seconds, and then we'll bring you back once we start putting everything together. Actually, before I go to the time lapse, I just want to show you how we're going to do the tomatoes. So with these ones, you want to cut them the long way in half twice, and then the short way. So kind of want them to be evenly cut so that it's all symmetrical. It's all about the presentation and how it looks, right? So that's what you're going to be left with. You're going to be left with tomato hunks that kind of look like this. Those go in the bowl. I'm going to get those cut up in the time lapse, and then after I get the cucumber skinned and sliced up, I'll slow it down to show you how I cut those up to go in here. All right, so the cucumber, we got that skinned, got them cut into little rounds, and then what I do is I like to grab 4 or 5 of them, stack them up in half, so you're left with these nice tiny little squares like so. These will go in there. We're going to go back to the time lapse, and we will get the rest of this cucumber cut up, and we will bring it back when we are ready for the next step. All right, next is the olives. We're going to get these open, drained, and get those in there, and bring you back after that. All right, we got our cucumbers, our tomatoes, and our olives in the bowl. Just kind of get a little bit of a mix here, kind of break everything up a little bit. Make sure we got a good consistency going with the color and the bits and pieces. So you kind of want everything to be uniform as far as size goes. So we're going to get the dressing in here. Get this one opened up and shaken up a little bit here. Make sure you shake it up real good so everything gets mixed up before you go squirting it in here. And for this much, probably use about half of a bottle or so. And you want to definitely do this ahead of time. You want this to be able to sit in the fridge for a few hours just for it to kind of soak all of this up and come together. Yeah, you kind of want, just like when you pull it back, you just want to see just a little bit of the dressing run down like that. So we're going to do this to get it all wet. We are going to get the lid onto this, and then we are going to get this in the fridge, and we'll bring you back and show you how we cut up the cheese. Not that you know how to cut the cheese, but show you what I do. All right, so now we've had the cheese in the freezer. We're going to pull that out. Hopefully that's stiffened up enough. I'm going to show you how I cut this up. Oh yeah. nice soft cheese, you want to kind of freeze it just to firm it up. Makes it easier to cut, so it doesn't just kind of shred while you're cutting it. So you want this to be kind of uniform, and you kind of want to cut it big enough so you know you're eating cheese, but small enough to make it go the distance. So we are going to get this cut up. We've cleaned our board, got our prep knife, got that honed in. So, oh, you can see how it's more like slicing a piece of meat, cutting through it. So it's kind of what you want. Make it easier to slice it up so it stays together. So we're going to put that aside. I'm just going to show you how I do it. So get it about yay big, and you want it to be uniform all the way around. So I just kind of, and it'll stick to the knife. Kind of helps you cut this uniform this way, right? So now got your nice little strip of cheese. And turn them all sideways. And again, the same thing, just nice little cubes of cheese. Just so they kind of look a little something like this. So you're going to cut the whole thing up like this. Now the reason you don't put this in right away is because the tomatoes will make the cheese go mush, so you don't put these in until you're ready to serve it. And I'm going to get this cut up and I'll bring you back. We are going to get this put back in the freezer to kind of stiffen it up again because it's been sitting out. Makes it easier to crumble it up to get it into the salad when we're ready to do that. So we're going to pop this in the freezer just long enough to clean this up. Once we clean this up, we're going to take this out, put it back in the fridge, put it in the top and the back of the fridge, you know, the coldest part of the fridge, just so it doesn't get too soft. And when we're ready to put this in, we will bring you back in. Now, normally you don't put the cheese in until you're ready to serve it, but I'm going to my mom's house with this, and I don't want to bring all of this and mess around with all these people there trying to do it. So we are going to get this opened, and we're going to get the cheese put in it so you can see what it should look like, and then you can watch me taste it. Haha. So when it's cubed up, you just kind of run it through your fingers to kind of break the cubes apart to get it in here, just because it will stick together because it is a soft cheese. And you don't have to use mozzarella. You can use any cheese that you want. If you want to put pepper jack in it, put pepper jack in it. If you're in an area where you're famous for whatever famous cheese that you guys are famous for, put that cheese in it. You could put feta in it. First time I ever had this, it was feta, but it, you know, American feta from a cow. It wasn't actually like goat milk. But if you do put feta in it, or like a blue cheese or something like that, just make sure you let people know at the picnic that that happens to be what kind of cheese it is, because you never know. You know, some people might be allergic to the mold in blue cheese, or maybe they're anti-eating sheep milk, or you know what I mean? So just, if it's not just a regular cheese, then you definitely kind of divulge that to the people. So, but just know that, like, if you use like a stiffer cheese, like if you do like a cheddar or something like that, you could probably put the cheese in a little bit earlier, instead of like right before you're going to serve it, just because it is a harder cheese, so it stands up to the acidity from the tomatoes a little bit better. But if you're using like a soft cheese, like a mozzarella or something like that, you definitely don't want to put it in right away, because the acid from the tomatoes is just going to end up turning it to mush, especially if you do it like the day before, because then it's going to be nothing. They're going to be these little white, gross little blobs in the salad. So definitely be mindful of that. So let's get the rest of this in here. And then also, after you do this, will be the final taste test to adjust to see if you need any more salad dressing or not. But once everything sits in here and the cucumbers and tomatoes kind of start letting their juices go, it gets pretty wet. And that's kind of why I also use the light dressing in there, to just kind of keep it light, right? You're at a picnic, you're going to be eating bread, maybe hot sauce if you're in my area, you know, pasta salad, potato salad. This is actually a nice, refreshing, light option to put on your plate. And honestly, I mean, this is the one thing that's always gone whenever I make it for any picnics or parties or anything. So people seem to like it. And I mean, even I'm not a tomato person, but with the, you know, all the combination of all of this stuff, it's actually, I actually like the tomatoes in it. So, all right, let's get us a fork. And I mean, you don't have to skin the cucumber if you don't want to. I personally would rather it be skinned. Like I said, you can use whatever cheese you want. Try and get a little bit of everything on here. Give me that. So there you go. You got your cucumber, your tomato, your cheese. Your black olives. We're going to do just a little bit more dressing. I mean, it's still pretty wet, so I mean, I would say total for all of this, you know, there's probably about this much left in the other one that I put in there. So about half a jar, maybe a little bit more if you like it more wet. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna pop this back in the fridge. And then, yeah, right before you serve it, just give it a good stir so everything gets re-wet. And it should be a hit at your next party. Light, cool, refreshing tomato salad, cucumber salad, tomato cucumber salad with olives, whatever you want to call it. I call it cucumber salad, but you can call it whatever you want. So I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you give this a try. Let me know how it turned out. And remember, never trust a skinny cook.